Hello everyone, good morning. We are from Group 1 who want to serve our discussion. The topic is about disease control in cocoa plants. Our members are myself, Muhammad Munthe with pseudo number 134190010, and then Sartika Sati with pseudo number 134190011, and then Ridwan with pseudo number 134190043, and then Jeremy C. Sareno. Cocoa plant. Cocoa plant comes from family Sterculiaceae, class Magnolopsida. Cocoa is one of the plantation commodities that has business opportunities and high economic value. Indonesia is the third largest cocoa producing country in the world, with production reaching 659.7 thousand tons. The stems of a cocoa plant at the age of 3 years reach 1.8 to 3 meters, and at the age of 12 years it can be reached 4.5 until 7 meters. Cocoa plant height is influenced by shade intensity, and available growth factor. The leaves on the cocoa plant are dimorphic. Cocoa is a plant with a surface root feeder, meaning that most of its lateral or horizontal roots develop near the soil surface, at the soil depth of 0 until 30 cm. Anthracnose. The cause of anthracnose is the fungus Colectotrichum gliosporides. Gliosporides generally attack young leaves that are only susceptible for 5 days at the time of bud opening and during the first 10 days when the leaf develop. Symptom cause are irregular brown spots on the leaf, such as symptom of necrosis on young leaf. Severe infection of young leaf can cause leaf drop. On barrel branch shaped like a broom, it often continues with the death of the branch. Disease control can be done by using resistant varieties, improved plant condition and environmental condition, sanitation, improved drainage, and trim branches and twigs of plants that are infected with disease, spraying fungicides with the active ingredients monk soap. The example is Ditan M45 or Procoras.
Next, there is fruit rot disease caused by Phytophthora palmivora. Infection on cocoa pods are characterized by the appearance of a blackish brown color covered with white mycelium at the end of the fruit. Then it becomes wet rot, and then the symptoms spread to cover the entire surface of the fruit. And one on the planked part, a white powdery layer will appear, which is a secondary fungal spore, and there is also a sporangium of Phytophthora palmivora. And for control, can be done by combining various control techniques such as resistant varieties, technical culture, mechanical, and chemical. Mechanical control is carried out by sanitation and eradication of the garden, and technical culture by setting shade or protective trees and pruning, and the most widely used fungicide include Ditain AIM 45 or Menzit6, and biological control with bioagents use Aspergillus sp and entomopathogenic fungi such as Trichoderma harzianum and Trichoderma virens. And next, a stem cancer disease caused by Phytophthora palmivora. The disease is recognized by the symptoms of swelling of the trunk or branch and blackish or dark in color. The stems that are attacked have black spots, look like they are wet and rotting. Black rotting spots are characterized by the presence of a rusty red liquid with reddish brown bark around the rotting part. And because it caused by the same pathogens, the spread of stem cancer is directly proportional to the spread of red rot disease. And for control, stem cancer disease is done by peeling the rotting bark to the limit of healthy skin, then smeared with a fungicide containing active copper 11 like copper sandals, nardox, coprafit, and vitigran blue. And the currently recommended control is using biological agents, and one of the effective biological agents is Trichoderma viride.
Okay, next slide. Rot fungus disease. Three types of cacao rot disease, namely red rot disease, Ganoderma pseudoverum, brown rot disease, famous lemonsis mor, and wheat rot disease, famous lignosus clotes. Symptoms of the three types are the same. At first, the leaves turn yellow, wither, and finally fall, followed by the death of the plants. Okay, next slide. The size control. Control can be done by dead plants that must be dismantled along with the roots until clean. In the dismantling halts, approximately 600 grams of sulfur is given to each hole. The hole has not been planted for unless a year to prevent spread of the plants. Plants around the plants are examined for the taproots. Okay, next slide. Apps fungus disease caused by the fungus Corticium salmonicolor. The presence of an apps fungal infection on a plant means that the source of the infection is nearby. In fact, infection first occurs on the underside of branches and twigs. The fungus first form a thin silky binding mycelium, like a spider's web. The bark of the branch under the course becomes rotten. The fungus will continue to grow and continue to form bikinidy which are usually found on the their seed at the tips of the size branch. The left with written abruptly, and many remain attached to the branch even when dry. Okay, next slide. Size control. Control is carried out by technical culture, pruning, sanitation, and fertilization. Plant the mycelium at the initial symptoms attacked to the size branch by scraping or peeling the smearing with fungicides such as tridomor or 10% copper concentration.
So the next one is vascular streak dieback disease. So BSP disease is caused by Ovcobarcidium bromide. The symptoms caused by BST is a yellowing of the leaves earlier than the actual time with green spot and fall under the branches without leaves toothless. If the surface of the former leaf holder is sliced, three blackish brown dots will be seen on the leaf holder. The rough surface of the twig when split will have brownish lines on the wooden bezel and necrosis between the leaf bones like a symptoms of reduce of calcium. So as you can see in the picture, in the leaves there have a yellowing, nag it has a yellowing spot and it has a blackish to brown touch in the left folder. So the next one is, sorry. So the next one is how to control the BSD. So it can reaching the symptoms, limit of brown lights, and then fertilizing healthy plants. Eradication by demolition of heavily attacked plants, in addition to pruning and fertilizing. It can also use resistant varieties to this disease. In this case, the size grafting technique has been used by some cocoa farmers in Sulawesi to rehabilitate cocoa plants damaged by BSD attack with resistance clown. So the next disease is the thread blight caused by Marasmus sp. The initial symptoms are characterized by the presence of a collection of white fungal threads or mycelium that string leaves twigs, then the threads turn brown and finally black. The leaves dry up, still hang on the twigs, and some of the leaves are transparent. This is an epiphytic fungus that attack all plants of the leaves, young stem, all stem, and to the plant roots. It can be spread by weed via basidiospores released from basidiomata that form during wet weather and may also be Singeria mirabilis. So to control the thread blight, the disease is associated with poor management of plant and garden care and also weakened by the attacks by other pests and disease. So that this disease can be controlled through regular rounds of sanitary pruning on infected branches. So that's all our presentation and thank you.